Alright everyone, I brought some gear. See, I said that they had dustpan. Found one. I was looking for the wrong color. The one I owned was blue, and now they're gray. And I was looking for the wrong color. Cool part is this one's made in Bucharest. No, wait, Bangladesh. But I also got my Menards bucket. See that? It's not the same green, but I don't care. Because more than that, it was the irony. I needed the irony. Does it work? Yes, it works. Would I use it to clean an entire floor? No. A dustpan and a broom works fine. But for like secondary cleanup, like the stuff left over from a broom and dustpan, 100%. Like I said, a little bit easier with that. But of course, there's a bunch of stuff left over, so you know your mileage may vary.
It's all women should be.
That's all women should be. So I have to remove the wall between here, you can see my hand, this wall, this white wall, is what's in the bedroom next door. I'm going to remove that wall. So to do that, I have to remove this cabinetry. So we're going to start with that. The other thing I did not do is I did not swap out my camera battery, and I'm at 1 bar. Small chance the camera may small chance the camera may die. So if that happens, then bath soaps. I don't think I'm going to take a picture of those. They look kind of scrandy, but those were bath soaps. At least that's what I hoped they were. One was shaped like a dinosaur, the rest were shaped like fruit. And they sounded like bath soap when they hit the counter, but bathroom stuff isn't something that you really want to show off, you know? Ugh. That stuff right there, nicotine stains. What is holding this in is a nail. So it was nailed in from underneath. So I'm going to hit it with a hammer. Because that's always a smart thing to do. Correction, it was nailed in from the top, not the bottom. The nail holes are just plugged with goop. While we're down here, I need to check to see if my water's off. There are two pipes down here you might not be able to see, little red handles. Those are hot and cold water connectors for the washer that was in this room. They had the pipes running out the side of the vanity. I can very slowly turn one of those on to find out what happens. Okay, so that didn't really tell me anything, because those are full on open. As far as I can tell, the way valves work. Yeah, the way valves work. These valves anyway, where the water comes in from the bottom, and then comes out in the middle. I turned them completely to the right. Righty tighty lefty loosey. I turned them. They were all to the left. I turned them to the right. Nothing. I think I just closed them. They've been open this whole time, so I don't think the water's on in this place, which is good.
I was hoping that was a really cool shot where I knocked the wall down like before. Cabinet's in the way. So, do I want to take out a vanity today? I did not want to take out a vanity today. Let's take a look at this bottom thing, see what we can find. I'm going to bring you guys down to my level. Alright, look at that. Except for you, hedonism bot. Alright. So that's the plumbing nightmare. Now, if you look at that pipe right there, see how it doesn't go anywhere? That's because that pipe, I think, was used as the outlet for the washing machine.
And I keep talking with my mask on. That was the outlet pipe for the washing machine. So these two little red knobs down here, that was the heat and cold that went through that hole to the washing machine, which is parked over there, where that coil is for a heat vent. That pipe right there, the line came in, and that's where the washing machine dumped its load of water when it was done. So that's how they had that wired together. Aftermarket parts, that's how you can tell it wasn't integrated. So that little green wire right there is the grounding wire for the 220 volt. Still think that's crazy. And then I gotta get this vanity out, which means I have... Uh-oh. Hey! Fun fact, you know what I don't have? I don't have any plumbing tools. I have zero plumbing tools. And that's rusted. That was rusted bad. So that leaves me with a conundrum. Well, I could just go after the P-trap. I could just go after the P-trap, or the P-trap connector, the white connector that the P-trap's there, and then you can't see it behind this board, but it connects to that black pipe. That's the new white pipe that connects to that black pipe. Anyway, if I'm going to get this thing out of here, I have no idea how I'm going to do that. Well, no, I do. I just don't want to because it's gross. Not that, and I don't have a metal cutting tool. Ooh, okay, so these are copper pipes. Hooray, copper pipes. So that is copper all the way up to the back of the sink. Cool. Downside is they're brazed, soldered in place. One way to get them out is to cut them. I bought the reciprocating saw. I got the oscillating saw, and I got the reciprocating saw. I'm going to call it a jigsaw. I have one of those too, but that doesn't work. I don't have blades to cut that. But you know what I do have? I have a brain. And if I took 2 seconds to use it, I would realize that if I pulled that wall out from that side and twisted it that way, I could slide it out from behind this without having to remove this cabinet. But it's good to know I need all that stuff. This board is behind that 220 volt. So if I try to push it forward, I'm going to rip that out of the floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut around it from this side, so it leaves a gap, and then I'll deal with whatever's left over.
I just realized I have to take the P-trap off. So if I have to deal with this disgusting mess, so do you. Besides, you guys are going to want to see this, right? If it is absolutely horrendous inside, you're going to be like, no, 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 why didn't you show it to us? I wanted to see how horrible it was. It's like watching NASCAR. I want to see the accidents. Who watches NASCAR for racing? Not I. Not I. By hand even, huh? Doesn't on there too, right? I'm absolutely going to regret this. Yep, you know it, I know it, we all know it. And then here I go. Okay, that's not as horrible as I thought it was. Holy shit. That's actually kind of clean in there. What the hell? So you guys can see, it's a little bit ugly tarnished in there. But in all honesty, that's not bad. It's not the hairball I was expecting. So that's nice. Alright, for this part I'm just going to take a pipe cutter to these two pipes up here. This is a little guy, it's just a little pipe cutter for small spaces. So, should work in here. I feel like it's bending more than it's cutting, but I might have over tightened it, I don't know. Wait, is that unscrewing? Yeah, of course it is. I buy a pipe cutter and it just wants to unscrew. Hold up. Oh, it's shearing, so it doesn't even matter if it comes loose because it's shearing off up here. So it stops trying to focus on me. Okay. Oh, that's a not too bad cut. Tighten it up a little bit. Do it again. And now how you're supposed to do it? One spin, two spins. Tighten it, one spin, two spin, tighten it. Ah, stupid bar. Okay. Thought that was screwed in. Turns out it was not. There we go. Well, yeah, last time I just crushed the pipe. This time I'm actually cutting it. Alright, well, after one failed attempt, I've learned how to use a pipe cutter. I probably already knew. But that's a nice clean cut right there. That's what we're talking about. And as of yet, it has not sprayed water at me, so that's a good sign. So now the sink is completely disconnected from the rest of the setup, and I can now remove the vanity. Huzzah! Well, I'm sitting here a minute. I want to talk about this faucet. What it reminds me of. Because it reminds me of the Titanic. You guys remember when they first did the images of the Titanic? One of the things was all the rusticles, buildup of particles, bacteria eating the steel, and leaving behind little stalactites on the sides of the ship. And I imagine that this is how some of the copper and, I'm assuming, steel sinks looked for a while. And I'm reminded of the idea that I like the moment after. And I mention it because when I think about the Titanic splitting in half and hitting the bottom of the ocean at 30 knots, it looked normal. It looked like it did 20 minutes before. I think it took like 3 hours at the bottom, but it looked like it did on the surface. I mean, maybe things were shifted around and there's a crap load more water than there should have been, but apart from being underwater, it looked exactly like it did on the surface. It was dark and scary down there, but imagine for a moment this thing hits the bottom of the ocean. And at least for a day, a month, maybe
Probably not, but maybe up to a year. Nothing changed. Everything looked like it was supposed to. And then the wood started to rot, and then the steel started to rot, and the fish came in and started chewing on whatever people were left, and stuff like that. But when you think about it, it's just like there was a moment when the Titanic sank that everything looked exactly like it was supposed to, 2 miles under the ocean, under absolutely death-crushing levels of pressure. And people start talking about that stuff, like the moment, that's some interesting stuff. So yeah, that's just stupid as it is, philosophical, whatever. The crustiness on this sink reminds me that a few days after the Titanic hit the bottom of the ocean, you could have walked around inside of it. And apart from being dark, wet, and crushing, it would have been exactly the same as it was a couple days before. It would be interesting to see that transition. Yeah. Anyway, philosophy aside, it's time to rip and tear. That way we can get this done.
Slightly less gaudy now.
I might have to call it earlier than I wanted today, unless it's. No, well, okay, okay. Fair enough. It's getting close to the time I kind of said. Oh, wow. Guess it's time to go. Soon. Soon. Anyway, I'm going to cut it and I'm going to go. You guys stay safe out there in your world, and I'm going to stay safe in mine.